Hello! Welcome to Chirp's Splat Guides. This time, we are looking at the Splatana, another new weapon class that was added to Splatoon 3. It's a bit similar to the brushes, but it is its own class. For lack of better wording, let's look at how this one shoots. Tapping R does a quick swipe, launching a blade of flying ink ahead a good distance. You can see the ink coverage isn't great. This does 30 damage at range and 45 damage if you can hit the opponent with the wiper itself. This means it needs 4 hits to splat at range, or 3 to splat in melee. Holding R does a charge attack. It's surprisingly fast, has good range, and okay damage. It has a more complete ink coverage that looks a bit like a charger's. If you hold forward when releasing R, you also dash that direction for a bit. About like 3 body lengths or so. Keep in mind, if you do it in the air, you cannot dash though. This charge attack does 60 damage when ranged, and 120 damage if you can hit the opponent with the wiper itself. Now, let's look a little into how to splat someone with this weapon. The first thing that probably stood out to you is how strong the melee attack is. Making use of the forward dash especially, you can defeat most squids before they can even react. While this is crazy strong, don't forget that your range attacks are quite strong too, and much safer. Something that makes this weapon interesting is all the combinations you can use to hit that 100 damage. For instance, if you miss the melee of your charge, just start swinging. If the enemy is in melee, you can still splat with just a single follow-up attack. And even if that follow-up attack doesn't quite hit, 2 ranged swipes will do the trick as well. Using the ranged charge attack, you can weaken the enemy and make a nice path for you to get in and finish with a quick swipe. With the default loadout, you have the torpedo sub, which allows you to finish enemies off at range incredibly fast. Throw out the torpedo, and while it's homing in, do a ranged charge attack. The 2 hits together will insta-splat anyone. Keep in mind that your opponent can just shoot down the torpedo, and people will do this all the time, even on complete accident. And with that out of the way, let's get to some actual turf war. Once again, this was during the Splatfest, so there's, the neon colors and everything. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and I can't lie. It was really hard to get a good game in for this weapon. I am not good with it. I think with a little more practice, maybe. Oh, look, I pulled off the torpedo move that I was talking about before. But yeah, with a little bit more practice, maybe I can get the weapon down. But with the ranged attacks requiring such high accuracy, and the melee attacks being so risky, I very much had an issue with it. I think one thing that I could do to improve a lot is make use of the ranged charge attack more. Going back and watching the videos now, I think that is where the strength lies in the weapon a lot more than doing the melee attacks, trying to go for the flashy kills like that. Oh my goodness. I am really bad with the stamper. Just to explain what happened there. Outside of like the ranked games, there I'm pretty good with it. At this point, I'm basically running out of ideas on what to do. I do my best to test out the range of the weapon and use the torpedo some more, but it gets shot down very, very frequently. Like you can see, they aren't even trying to shoot it. They're just shooting at other squids and just happening to hit it. Oof, I whiffed at it. Even once I get in melee, it can be really hard to aim that attack. At this point, my hopes weren't very high in this. I figured I'd try and get some good coverage, get on this middle island. At least get some coverage before the end, maybe get a win in, though the coverage isn't great on this weapon. At this point, I've realized that strafing backwards and shooting attacks is probably the optimal way to use this weapon. Of course, by the time I've learned this, we're basically at the end of the game. This is kind of... Trying to trap a brush in your ink doesn't actually work, because they can just walk over it. just an FYI. But miraculously, we do win this game. My teammates did carry a good chunk of that, but we take those. Sorry, we don't get a victory screen this time. I actually recorded this gameplay before the previous video and didn't quite have the process down yet. You gotta forgive me a bit on that one, sorry. But, to sum up, the Splatana seems to be a fairly strong weapon, with the downside of requiring a bit of practice. It does struggle with verticality, with few options to hit an opponent standing on a ledge. Because of this, I think it'll probably struggle in a lot of the ranked game modes, but that's speculation for later. For now, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let me know with a like or comment. Subscribe if you want to see more guides and Splatoon gameplay. And until next time, stay fresh.